Howdy guys, it's Joe here, and today I want to tell you guys who I personally feel like are the 4 best heroes for low rank competitive. Now, I got this list off of playing on my Smurf and playing on a few other accounts as well, and really playing at the lower ranks and seeing what really helped myself the most and what really helped my team a lot as well. Now, a lot of these characters are a little bit jank and do take a little bit of time to learn how to play, but I feel like especially at lower ranks, people just don't execute their, plans as well, they don't go into the same, and it's a lot easier to stall as well, which really makes a lot of these characters quite a bit better, especially on control point maps and as well on assault maps. Anyways, with all that said, let's get into the 4 god tier heroes for low rank / low elos. Now, the first person I'm going to put here is one of the best characters right now, and that's Deva, but I feel like she's always been pretty good at this rank, mainly for the fact that I feel like she does very good against indecisive teams, which you often find. For example, if you're playing against a team that has a Reinhardt, and he keeps holding up his shield and he doesn't know whether to go in, he keeps taking more and more damage, well, Deva in particular can do a huge amount of damage to that shield. As well, really, any character that you're fighting, if the enemy team's being indecisive, you can chip a lot of damage on them, and really just kind of take out their shields, which is just really, really amazing at this rank. I feel like that's one of the best things about her at lower ranks, just the chip damage that she does. As well with this, her ultimate is extremely good at these lower ranks, mainly because a lot of the times the Reinhardt just doesn't know exactly where to position their shield, or there's not a Reinhardt and you can just shift that thing up in the air and just blow up like 3 or 4 of the enemy team, and there's not much they can do, which is just, nice. Being able to nuke people and not having much of a counter at lower ranks can be really, really useful. And then finally we have her shift, which I feel like especially works well here, because a lot of the time you can shift back into the enemy lines and take out either the supports or mainly take out people like Junkrat and people like Widowmaker. You can just get back there, and a lot of the times people won't actually turn around to kill you, so you can just get in there, get a kill, and maybe get out. I don't know, it's something that feels very, very strong to me, and when I've been playing at these lower ranks, she's especially one of the people that I've been using a lot. Next, we have Mei, and of course everyone knows that Mei's pretty good right now. As well with this, it's pretty easy to figure out that when people can't aim the best, her left click becomes a lot better because, well, you have a lot more time to freeze the enemy and then get that right click kill. And then finally, of course, we know her ultimate is just very strong against people that are a little bit more uncoordinated and who just kind of group up at the worst times possible, which happens a lot, when you're playing in these lower ranks, so she does really great there. But the thing that really makes her feel at least very powerful in my eyes at these ranks is on assault maps and on King of the Hill maps. If you just walk into a corner, take a little bit of damage, walk into a corner, E yourself, wait a second, and then shift yourself. You can get a lot of time with this character, and that's something that is especially useful, especially on assault maps. Giving your team time for letting them come back and letting them deal their damage. Being able to just stall for your team is especially useful at these ranks, as a lot of times they just need a few lives in order to go in, get some damage on the enemy team, and take them out, and you can really supply that for them. As well, I feel like a lot of people just have trouble killing Mei for some reason down at these ranks, at least in my own opinion. And if you can just hide around, maybe put in a few seconds in between your shift and your E, well, you have even more time that you can stall for your team, which is even better. Now to the next hero that is especially powerful here, and it's actually 2 heroes, it's the Torb and Symmetra combo. Now, I know a lot of people are going to hit me a little bit for this, but right now, with Symmetra's shield and with Torb's auto-generating E, this is very strong at lower levels. If you just put down all your turrets to Symmetra in good locations, and as well, Torbjorn puts down his turret, and then you give everybody the shield generator shield, and as well, the armor from Torb, it can make your team, especially on defense, a really annoying thing to try to fight. When people don't do coordinated pushes, giving your team so much sustain makes it almost impossible in order to push forward. As well, you do a lot of damage, and you don't actually have to be able to aim way too well, and you can kind of shred through the tanks with all these characters, which is especially good at this rank because a lot of people just can't really aim way too well to kill the tanks, so the tanks can kind of just run a little bit rampant right here. As well, these two work very well against players that try to gank around like Tracer and Genji, or even someone like Soldier that wants to get behind your team and take out your team, or be a very good distraction and then have the rest of their team go in. Well, if you have Torb and if you have Symmetra, they really can't do that. So it gets rid of that really big strategy that we see down here, or it just counters it and it makes the Genji really useless, and the Genji keeps killing himself, so that could be another really nice thing to do. A thing with these characters, though, is I'd say really don't play them on offense way too much. I mean, you can kind of get away with Symmetra offense, but it's especially good on defense. And be a little bit careful until you do have your Symmetra ult up, as the Torb E is nice, but you do need both. And finally, make sure that you have both these characters. Don't pick them up by themselves. I feel like especially they're good together, but by themselves, they really aren't the strongest in these ELOs. And finally, I'm just going to say the choice of Soldier 76, and I've always really recommended this guy in the past in these low ranks, for the fact that he's easy, he's strong, and he has effective range at every range. He's pretty good close, medium, and far. As well with this, he does have an E that can kind of make up for only having one support, and he can kind of just shred through tanks, which is what we're having to face a lot right now. So with that, though, he can do decent against all the offense heroes in the game, and he can also take out all, the defense and all the tank heroes in the game. Finally, of course, his ultimate. It's really amazing, and it's just good, especially with Ana right now, as the opponent team doesn't know what to do, or if they aren't blocking you well, you can just completely team wipe them if you have any advantage, or if you're just above a hill, or anything like that. And it's pretty hard to counter unless, they're thinking straight. So I feel like he's really good in a lot of ways. He's always been simple, but I feel like that really adds to him being good at these ranks, because it doesn't take way too long to get good at him, and if you can just learn how to kind of aim, you'll really do fine at this character. And there you go, that's who I personally feel like are the 4 best heroes for low rank / low elo, and these guys will probably stay this unless they get major reworks and become extremely hard or extremely different. I feel like these guys are just very good for right here though, and if you are at a lower elo, maybe give one of them a shot and try to play them how I was explaining a little bit instead of, just going in and going ham all the time, as that often doesn't always work. Anyways, thank you all for watching. As always, if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and comment down below who you personally felt was the strongest hero in order to climb yourself up these ranks. If you were stuck at these ranks at one point, or if you're still stuck, who are you using to try to climb yourself up? As well with this, I'm just giving my own opinion, the best opinion I can give, but if you have a different one, make sure to leave it down below, as I do like to hear everyone's different opinions. As always, if you did enjoy, make sure to press subscribe for future videos, top 5 tips, tutorials, stuff like that, and as always, have a wonderful day.